Hey guys, welcome back to another ASMR version of StarCraft 2. Once again, we have a great international engagement in between the two pro players. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As you have spawning here in the upper left, in the red, it is Scarlett from Canada. And her opponent spawning here in the low right, in the blue, it is Maru from South Korea. Maru, of course, considered to be one of the best, if not the best Terran who is currently playing. Very recent replays from July 2022. So yeah, let's just see what exactly both players have prepared for us as they're spawning here on an ESL map called Moon Dance. A very interesting name for a map. We see Maru opening up pretty standard with supply depot into barracks and refinery. So the standard open up for any Terran versus the Zerg. Let's just check Scarlett really quick. Usually Zergs like to go for a fast expansion, but Scarlett actually opting to go here for a faster spawning pool, as her overlords are also out here on the map. The first scouting overload and the second overload, of course, checking the proximity here for any proxy barracks. Of course, Maru is known, like any skilled Terran player, to sometimes go for a proxy barrack harassment, a double proxy barracks harassment. But this time I actually decided to play it pretty standard. There is that hatchery here for Scarlett. Let's just have a look what exactly is going to happen, how things will unfold. Extractor is also almost being finished for her, actually at the same time with the spawning pool. So speed should also be finished very soon for those Zerglings. We have the first Reaper being produced by Maru, and he's actually feeling very confident into going into a fast expansion as well. Usually Terrans have opted lately in the latest replays from StarCraft 2, which I have seen, to go straight into a command center. Of course, the Zerg can punish this with a fast spawning pool and Zergling move out, so this is exactly why Scarlett has her overload really quick here. And yeah, let's see. First Reaper is out. Let's see if Maru is going to be successful with his harassment, as we also see two Zerglings out on the map, but the first Queen is also here, expecting of course the arrival of this one Reaper. SCV is returning home, and yeah, let's have a look at this one Reaper. Soon is going to jump over this ledge, but Scarlett seems to be prepared for this with her overload, with her Queen in the back. A nice grenade to deny some mining time, one drone dropping really low, but Scarlett is nicely microing it out of danger, and an interesting move here by her, hiding a roach warren in the back. So very early roach warren, around the 2 minute and 35 second, as she has also taken her second expansion. So let's have a look what exactly this is going to mean. Perhaps a early aggression with some Zerglings, with some roaches. We're about to find out. As Maru went into a factory, they might very likely continue with a starport very soon. Yes, indeed, there is that starport. Of course, a must if you're a Terran player. Starport with those medivacs, a very strong unit to support your marines and to transport, for example, some Hellions, some mines, just to harass the economy from that Zerg as much as possible. So some mules are still being called, second gas is being made for Maru. And let's have a look what exactly the plans from Scarlett are going to be, and by the looks of it, of course you can see it in the production tab, 7 roaches are being spawned. So roaches early on, very tanky and very strong unit, and she even goes for some Ravagers. So let's see exactly where this is going to take her. She might even take the Queen as a support, but by the looks of it now she's heading straight out only with roaches and Ravagers. She has 6 roaches, 1 Ravager, and not producing any other units here. Of course, she doesn't really have that much minerals, but hold on, the Hellions do intercept here, so the roach is still very tanky. And yeah, Maru has to pull those SCVs early on, so such a difficult situation here for him, as he's going to kite those SCVs back and forth. But yes, Scarlett is going to commit. 2 SCVs have already fallen, 2 more fall. So yeah, nice harassment here by Scarlett in the early game. And this one medivac is really important here for Maru, as it is able to micro those units out of danger. So 7 SCVs have fallen, but in the end Maru holds with great casualties. 8 SCVs have fallen now, but yeah, in the end he's able to hold, also thanks to this one medivac here. Medivac even chasing those Ravagers away. So Scarlett now currently droning up, and there is even a Cyclone being produced by Maru. So interesting, very aggressive strategy early on by Scarlett, really wanting to finish this game early on, but Maru holds with Great casualties. Look at that, 36 workers only for him. So SCARLETT already crippling here the economy from Maru, but at the same time SCARLETT losing very much valuable units early on, those roaches and the Ravagers, very much costly, and now she's finally being able to produce some more units. So let's see how this game is going to continue. Maru taking his other expansion, the expansion here from SCARLETT, also pumping out minerals, and so many drones are being produced by her, and drones already. So nice job here injecting larva as we have passed the 5-minute mark. Hold on, we have a nice drop here by Maru being prepared into the main from SCARLETT. One queen dropping very low. Finally in come the roaches, and he should be able to hold this, the medivac in the back, securing here the transition from those marines. Very aggressive move out here by SCARLETT, trying of course to finish the game as fast as possible. And let's check the main from Maru. 3 barracks are going to be produced, even more and more barracks are being added. So Maru looking like to go very strong, very heavily into those marines, into those medivacs, into some Hellions. Actually mass marines it is going to be here for him, as he's going for more and more barracks, currently 5 of them. And yeah, 1 factory and a starport with a Raven now being produced. Stim is also being produced for his units. And yeah, just in case I'm missing something, of course you can check the upper left part of the map. So yeah, things have finally settled down a little bit. SCARLETT also going for her tier 2. She might transition into some Spire, into a Spire gameplay with some Mutalisk. Could be a possibility. The Mutalisk are of course very fragile, but they're very fast, and with Mutalisk you can actually force the Terran player to stay at home or to leave some units at home, especially Marines and anti-air units. So yeah, let's have a look what exactly she is opting to go for. Or she might go for some Hydralisk, she might go for some for some Lurkers. Lurkers are very much effective against the infantry here from the Terran. Once again, she is regrouping here in the middle of the map. Perhaps she wishes to expand into this location to secure that location. She might even try an Nidus Worm with this one Overseer. So lots and lots of possibilities for her, as Maru is still clumping together here. 2 drones have been sniped somewhere, I believe, into this location. And the nice scan going out, but Maru deciding to play it very defensively, of course, fearing another attack by SCARLETT. He's also nicely scanning the proximity here, just to see exactly what the next build order is going to be here for the Zerg. But yeah, SCARLETT looking like she's going more and more into those roaches. Her economy really allowing her to do that. 80 workers for her. And we see a small move out here by the Terran with a Medivac, Cyclone, Raven and 1 Hellion. So nice mix of units. But yeah, SCARLETT looking like she's once again fully going to commit here. Her creep spread is very strong. Some of the creep has to be of course killed by Maru, but like by the looks of it, SCARLETT attacking once again at around the 8-minute mark towards the base from Maru. Maru has a tank in the back. This tank is really important. Interesting enough, he's unsieging. Perhaps he wants to find a better position for this one tank. He has to stay sieged up as the Marines are in the front and will tank of course the damage. But yeah, second tank here, so Maru should be fine. However, his supply depots are falling. He might get supply block, yes indeed, while SCARLETT is fully supplied with 120 army. But yeah, those 2 tanks in the back of course much important. Nice cannon with those Zerglings in the front. SCARLETT might try to fully commit here. The Zerglings will of course absorb the first damage attacks, but hold on, the roaches are actually in the front, and we even have a anti-armor rocket being thrown towards those units. So a nice orange color. All of a sudden those Ravagers turned into a very beautiful orange color here, almost having like a flame onto their head. So yeah, looking very stylish and very beautiful. So nice rocket by this one Raven. And yeah, in comes SCARLETT with the Zerglings finally in the front, but Stim is up. Tanks are in the back, they're not being touched, and those tanks are so much important. There's yeah, a lot of bloodbaths here, lots of roaches have been killed. Stim of course a must if you're a Terran, and now Maru picking up. So he might try of course to react. Hold on, he actually has a small counter force here towards the base from SCARLETT. 1 queen, the second queen is getting snapped here as well. So nice pickup by Maru as he's multitasking. We've seen of course many Terrans like to do this, or actually have to do this with 2 medivacs and some marines just multitasking, just damaging the economy from the Zerg, as once again Maru is moving out. Of course, the medivacs give them this possibility to pick up and just retreat, as there are no mutalisks on the map and there are no hydralisks. Yeah, Maru has to, of course, be very careful, as he's known for this nice multitask, just like BYUN. So we have passed the 10-minute mark. Still anyone's game, and quite a scare here for Maru against the 200 supply Zerg. In the end, those tanks in the back were the saviors for Maru, as he's still roaming around, still deciding to attack with multiple forces here. And yeah, just forcing SCARLETT to stay back and defend, not fully commit. Let's see how this will unfold, but Maru not really paying attention here. Some of those marines will be sniped, as SCARLETT is now moving forward with many more Zerglings. And yeah, the upgrades are also really nice for her. Let's see if she's going to commit. The tanks are nicely being spreaded. Lots and lots of kills for those tanks. And the tanks in the back, I believe, to just reinforce the defenses here for Maru. So yeah, Maru, like I told you, still keeping those units just ready. Just a small task force here, but Steam is really strong for those marines to punish the economy from the Zerg if he's fully committing to move out. So yeah, nice scans. Of course, Maru tries to stop that creep highway as much as he can. He finds a good position for his units here, but in the end he has to pick up and retreat. So things are settling down, and look at the change currently for SCARLETT. She's heading into mass banelings. Of course, those banelings really aggressive, very strong against marines, and also pretty good into busting through walls of supply depots. But yeah, so many tanks here for Maru on the ground. And at the same time, look at that, a small attack force once again killing 12 drones. So Maru looking very strong with his special units here, with his special attacking forces. This is once again going to drop here, and there's just one queen. Steam once again should be used very soon by Maru. Finally, the dropship gets killed. 2 more drones are getting killed. Actually 16 drones in total. So yeah, in the end, Maru had to sacrifice those units, but it was all worth it. Maru, SCARLETT has dropped to 83. So SCARLETT once again with a huge move out. Many eggs on the ground for her, just to spread that creep. And very soon that creep might reach this location here. So she has to leave behind some units to defend against those medivacs, and as she's also moving forward here. So the defense by Maru is now really strong with those tanks on the ground. Perhaps SCARLETT has to transition into some other units, maybe some Mutalisk, maybe some Broodlords would actually be perfect here against the Terran, but yeah, it's still a long way until that. Now let's just see, she's once again regrouping here, and she might try to attack, but this one siege tank already with a great position here next to the purple crystals here. So such a beautiful map with lots and lots of plants and purple looking like plants here and crystals, and also a nice position here for this map. So yeah, let's see how things will unfold. There's roaches, there's banelings, zerglings. Another attack is being prepared here by SCARLETT. But yeah, that wall is very nicely being built by Maru with his tanks, just spreading those tanks and adding a supply depot, a casual supply depot left and right, just to have so much more of a sim city. So just to make it more difficult for those Zerg units to pour forward. There's even a sensor tower. I believe you can see units far more away, so Maru will know when exactly an attack is about to happen. Currently he's just roaming around. Perhaps he wishes to secure, of course, another expansion point. And yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen here. SCARLETT still retreating, still fighting left and right, but this army here needs to be careful, Maru, not to lose so many marines. The Bane is getting quite some good connections here. Both players are hurting each other really nicely. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at the 15-minute mark. Still a great defense here by Maru. Same can be said by SCARLETT. She has to defend, of course, against that harassment, against those medivacs. And she still stays at the same unit composition, but hold on, in the middle of the map, finally the strong unit here, the Broodwar in the air. She, of course, tries to hide those Broodlords, knows that a scan might come out, so as soon as Maru sees those Broodlords, you will very likely have to transition into more snipers, into more Vikings. Let's have a look. I believe I did see some snipers. The snipers in the late game, really important unit, and yeah, there they are She might even try to use a nuclear launch. Let's have a look what is going to happen. Currently Scarlett still tries to be aggressive, still tries to move around the map. Such a hard game for her against all of those tanks. But yeah, those Ravagers really dealing some quite good amount of damage, sniping a building once or twice. And yeah, Maru just roaming around here in the middle of the map, having full energy onto those snipers. The snipers will be perfect to counter those Broodlords in the air. And yeah, let's have a look. More and more Broodlords will be added here by Scarlett. Currently she's at 7. And she's once again being maxed out, really heavy onto gas and onto minerals. Such a huge amount of minerals. But yeah, let's see. Is this going to work out for her? Her economy looking very, very strong here. She has expansions all over the map. Might try to commit. There's even infestors now, so we might see fungals. We might see mind control onto those units. And if she could reach some of those tanks, she could mind control them. But let's not forget that there are snipers on the ground with EMP, and yeah, EMP pretty much deadly against those infestors. So let's see where exactly is she going to try to attack Maru here. Infestors are on the ground here. You can even borrow them and use the spell. So such a strong unit to have for the Zerg. So nice mix. She might even try to add some Vipers. Vipers also very strong with Harpoon and with Blinding Clouds. And even with that Disease Cloud, also very much used against the Medivacs in the air. So yeah, let's see. Like I told you, the economy from Scarlett looking very, very strong here. We might overwhelm her opponent. Maru still decides to play it very, very defensively. Just moves out casualties with the small task force, with some Marines, with some Medivacs. And yeah, it's a cat and mouse game here in between these two pro players. Let's see what exactly is going to happen. Maru tries to find a good position on the high ground. The banelings are rolling in. In the end, he has to pick up and perhaps he's going to commit into this location where the crystals are, but there's 3 spores, so he needs to be very, very careful. Scarlett, of course, defending very, very nicely, anticipating some drops there. Perfect defense with 3 spores into this location. Yeah, Maru, hold on, he did actually lose 1 medivac with that Ravager fireball. So nice job here by Scarlett, even sniping. And look at that, more and more fungals go out, and the perfect counter here. So it looks like those infestors with that fungal and the Ravagers with the fireballs just completely obliterating here a small task force for Maru. So such a nice counter here by Scarlett, showing us the strengths of those units. And she's now sending out some changelings, which have turned into Marines. And yeah, nice scouting ability for her. But in the end, the tank is going to respond, dealing also quite some splash damage towards his own SCV here. So Maru has to be, of course, careful. 11 kills onto this one, 11 onto this one. So tanks, of course, much strong units. So Maru reacting with some Hellbats. The Hellbats are, of course, a counter towards those Broodlords as well. As soon as the Broodlords lands, the splash damage out of this Hellbat is going to deal, of course, with all of those Broodlings on the ground. Yeah, let's see, both players are repositioning, are regrouping. We might see an attack very much soon. Still a split is going up. The Broodlords are a little bit exposed, so maybe Maru now finally finding the courage to move out. He has added some Liberators, he has added actually many Tors here. So he's looking like he's fully going to commit. Scarlett needs to be careful. Not all of her forces are together here, so let's see, she's adding more and more Broodlords. But yeah, those Tors are really scary. Liberators are in the air, and in comes the sniper with the first atomic bomb. So the nuke is going to get launched very much soon. Scarlett needs to be careful just to avoid that nuke. And let's hope that Maru is not going to nuke himself. So the nuke is about to land. Just a couple of Queen Eggs will be killed as the Raven just once again launches a anti-armor rocket towards those units. So yeah, slowly but steadily the siege, the Terran siege is beginning here as the Terran moves out with his siege tanks. I believe some siege tanks have been left at home, of course, just to defend. But yeah, the sheer majority of those units are here in the back. And yeah, lots and lots of kills. The Liberators in the air as well. And there's that EMP against those infestors. Maru showing us the full strength of the Terran army. In comes the anti-armor once again, as we finally have a great engagement. Scarlett is, however, on the high ground. She has the better position, so Maru needs to be careful. The Tor is very low, 1 HP. And he even saves this one Tor, so the hero Tor It's safe here. He might get repaired very soon. I believe he should send this one at home. Yeah, in come those mechanics. The SCV says we have another nuke about to explode here, but yeah, this time call it clearing the sniper that has launched it. No, hold on. There's still the nuke here, pretty much alive. And it has landed indeed, so nice job here by Maru, getting a good connection. And yeah, it's just moving more and more forward towards Scarlet. The Thors are very much tanky. The Ravagers are here. Where are those Broodlords? I believe he might have sniped those Broodlords. So really hard game now for Scarlet as she has lost the first expansion point. No, actually the Broodlords were in the back. Scarlet microing them out of danger, out of those reach of the snipers. And yeah, the siege is continuing here for Maru. More and more is being thrown here by Scarlet, nicely taking out the tank here. And we see yet another nuke. The nuke, of course, to keep the Zerg units at bay. Liberation zone, everything the Terran has. And it's such a hard counter against the Zerg, as the Zerg doesn't really have so much to just walk into this meat grinder with siege tanks, with liberators and Thors. And let's not forget the Hellbats too. Scarlet still has to commit here. In comes the drop with some Broodlords here, so let's see what exactly is going to happen. Maru feeling very much confident. There's some nice sniping going on. Some drones will fall here. Good fungus here for Scarlet, as she's going to, sadly for her, have to retreat. She has to out-micro those drones out of danger. Yeah, some drones will fall, of course, 30 of them. Now she has the high ground finally. The Broodlords have been landed, but yeah, the Thors with that splash damage and the Hellbats as well will take care of that. So nice job here by Maru, sniping 2 expansion against Scarlet. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at the 25-minute mark. Let's see how things will unfold. Once again, 2 liberation zones. The siege tanks are sieging up. This time Scarlet on the high ground tries to take out, of course, some units. The attack is happening really nicely, but the snipers are invisible and they're sniping those Broodlords. So much damage being taken by those Broodlords out of those snipers. Really nice job here by Maru. There are overseers in the air, but it looks like Maru having so much. But hold on, he's actually taking quite some damage. There's a nuke, but it has been killed. Nice job by Scarlet, and I believe she's going to take this game, this victory right now, this battle victory. So let's see. She has the high ground, so she has the better position. So good job by her, holding her ground, not moving back. And she's now even going to take out the reinforcements. So Maru in quite some difficulties here, as he's taking quite some damage out of Scarlet. He did snap 2 hatcheries, so he crippled the economy from Scarlet. But still Scarlet having so much more here, as she's launching Broodlord after Broodlord towards the Terran army. Let's see how exactly Maru is going to hold here. Still the economy from Scarlet. I don't think that this is a bug. She's actually at 12k minerals and 2k gas, so such a good game for her. But yeah, so many MPs. And yeah, still the Hellbats are on the ground just to hold against so many forces. But yeah, Scarlet just bringing everything she has here against the Terran, even throwing out some fungals. So such a strong army here for the Zerg, such a great mix. The planetary, however, is still alive. It's getting repaired. Finally, it's getting taken out. So many infestors, but they have eaten a EMP once again. As fungals once again have been casted. So pretty strong attack this time by Scarlet. She's not going to allow for Maru to overextend. Of course, finally her economy is dropping, but the economy from Maru is really strong as well. And let's see, liberation zones in the air, really getting taken out by the fireballs. The Zerglings are pouring in forward just to tank the damage, and we now finally have mind control on the one Thor. And yeah, in the end it's going to get taken out, but the snipers are in the back. More and more Thors are being built, and in the end Scarlet has to retreat. Her units aren't that fast, but sadly for her, the Broodlords are really very slow and they're getting sniped off the air. And yeah, we have an interesting situation here. 2 expansions, one next to each other, and such a great and balanced game here between the two. Scarlet dropping, of course, below 10k minerals. She has to rebuild the units very fast. Maru knows this, of course, so he's not going to wait. He's going to move out with his units as well. And all of a sudden, Scarlet dropping into workers, but that's okay. She has still a strong economy. Paintings, try to get some connections. Zerglings are here. So many fireballs are being thrown out by those Ravagers, and the Broodlords are in the back. Yeah, so many MPs as well here for Maru. Nice fungals once again. There are Thors, there are snipers in the air. The Thors stand their ground. Maru not moving back, and yeah, SCARLETT did GG out, so Maru taking this game with a very strong counter here against SCARLETT. SCARLETT early on with a very aggressive move out, almost finishing Maru at around the 3-minute mark, but in the end Maru with the perfect defense and very patient game, and also with his multitask with his medivacs and with his marines being able to force SCARLETT to stay back. And at one point at the 8-minute mark I was thinking that SCARLETT would take the game with so many roaches and ravagers being maxed out, but in the end Maru has shown us the strength of the tanks in the back for the defense. So the perfect defense here for the Terran player after the 10-minute mark, and later on adding of course those snipers, the Thors and the Hellbats, just to take care of those Broodlords. So nice matchup here, a great game. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the ASMR gameplay here. No in-game sound, just ASMR. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be seeing of course in the next replays, in the next cast. This is Tommy signing out.